Civilizations throughout time have created enormous structures that we can still observe and see today. The Egyptians with their pyramids, the Aztec and various other civilizations in ancient Mexico, namely the structure known as Kukulkan, which also looks very similar to an Egyptian pyramid, but with a flat top. The Sumerians of ancient Mesopotamia and their structures also referred to as ziggurat or ziggurat. So I had a question and a curiosity. Why is it that these structures that are so far apart, not only through space but also through time, why is it that they share a similar design or a similar look and feel? They all have a square base at the bottom that gives rise up into roughly a single point at the top. And again, there's no way these ancient civilizations were able to communicate and share ideas to this level of similarity across the hundreds of years and hundreds of kilometers. Is this human intuition? Is this just something that we can write off as a coincidence? I'd like to share a more interesting idea. What if this human intuition came from a source of inspiration that came from off-planet? I'm talking about the energy we receive here every day from the stars, from the cosmos. And we've been receiving this energy from stars as long as we know, even perhaps before the birth of the earth, depending on your belief system. But we do know that stars have been around a lot longer than the earth and a lot longer than us. And if these celestial bodies have been radiating energy towards humanity over the millennia, what if this acted like a broadcast, and within that broadcast was encoded the very details for not just an individual, but for an entire civilization, for an entire set and groups of civilizations that we are lucky enough to observe the remains of these enormous structures. I'm talking about perhaps systematically, one by one, over the millennia, people, hundreds, thousands of people, received this stellar energy over the course of days, months, and years. For each one to take creative action as a bricklayer, as a designer, as a chef to prepare meals to energize the massive populations, and everyone in between for days, months, and years. Now, based on our analysis of history, we could just write this off as following orders in the form of a slavery system, and we're just doing this to honor the gods. That could be true. Now, it was not done by choice. However, human rights, equal rights, is something we're just trying to get a hold and grasp of as a people, as a civilization, even to this day. So I cannot imagine how difficult it could have been to coordinate the energy and time of many people thousands of years ago. I can only imagine it could have been way more difficult. So I like to think of it as perhaps a different way to interpret this unified and coordinated effort of thousands of people over years to create these magnificent structures that we're still incredibly lucky to be able to visit to this day. So I like to think of it as a broadcast that we received for a very long time, and we converted the energy. We interpreted that stellar energy into these brilliant designs that even today we have a difficult time explaining to ourselves how they were able to create such pyramids, such kutukal, such ziggurats. Maybe some are explained a little more easily than others, but we may never know. In any event, I'm very excited by this idea, and I do look forward to the great, enormous, and magnificent structures that humanity will create in the future. I thank you for listening to this idea, and I do hope you have a wonderful day.